Welcome to Lessons for Little Blessings, where we talk about reading, writing, math, and other activities to help your children thrive. So in this video, we're going to talk about fun ways to teach your children their sight words. Sight words are just simply high-frequency words that students see a lot. And most children's books are made up of 50% or higher of sight words. So if your child knows how to read their sight words, they can already read, say, half of that book. And the list that I'm using is called Dolch sight words. There are other lists, but this is just the one that I've chosen to use. So all of the documents in this video use words from those lists. And I will have in the description box below all the links to these documents if you'd like to print them out, as well as just the list to the Dolch sight words. People used to say, and some still teach this way, that kids just have to memorize, they just have to know by sight their sight words. And while that might be true for a majority of the words, there are still quite a few that do follow the regular phoneme structure, and students can figure out some of them. Even the ones that don't follow those regular, what we would call maybe like phonics structure, there are usually still parts in those words that students can figure out. And even just knowing a few parts, that's going to help students more quickly recall that word and be able to read it. So this is why I think that a really good reading program is going to have a balance of decoding or those phonics skills and sight words. Okay, enough of that background. So how do we teach kids sight words? These are by no means the only ways that I'm going to share with you. These are just ideas that I have found helpful and effective teaching first and second grade, and so I'm using them now homeschooling my son, and I hope that you find them useful as well. I would suggest starting with about 5 words a week and just go from there. So if by the end of the week you don't feel like your child has really mastered that word, then take those 5 words and maybe go every 2 weeks, or you could try doing just maybe 3 words a week. So you can kind of play with it there, but I would do just a set amount every week or so often. There's a couple different ways that I would introduce a word. You could just give them a word and teach them this word says had. So you could just tell them directly, or you could show them this word and you could engage them a little bit more and ask them, are there any parts in this word that you know? Or is there anything familiar in this word? And just kind of gauge it, see if they know, oh, H says, yeah, this starts with the letter H, and that's, and then you can kind of go from there. On some of these words, like I said, how some are decodable, they might be able to work through it. And so you could do that with them, or you could just simply do direct instruction and say, this word is had, read it with me, had, and then just have them do it with you. And that part, introducing words, it really doesn't have to, take that long. You don't have to belabor it. Just teach them what the word is using one of those methods, and then you can go from there. So once you've introduced all the words for that period, you can do various activities and games. So the idea here is just to give your child a lot of constant exposure to the letters and the words and opportunities to interact with that in different ways. So the rest of this video will go over some different games that include sensory and building, reading, writing, just all different ways to make these words and to read them, and hopefully get some different brain processes firing so it'll help them to recall that word when they come across it in a book so they know it and they can read it. All right, for this game, read it, build it, write it, we've got word cards, a dry erase marker with our paper and a sheet protector to make it dry erase, and then some letters. So he's gonna find the word, he's gonna read that word.
Dad.
Good, and then he's gonna build it with his letters. And then he's going to write it. And we are working on path of movement, or that letter formation. I'll link a video if you're interested in that. He's switching them into uppercase, and for this I'm not going to worry about it because the focus of this lesson is him learning the sight words. And so if your child does this where they do the upper or lowercase, I wouldn't pick this time to worry about that right now. We just want to practice those sight words. This game is just Play-Doh building sight words. So you'll see here we've got some Play-Doh, and Caleb is just rolling out some snakes to form the letters. And if you need some, I'm going to put a link here. If you need some good Play-Doh that lasts a while, we've got a video on some we did some fall seasonings in it, but you could just do the base Play-Doh recipe in that video and you'll have some Play-Doh to last you a while. This stuff is going on like a half a year old now almost, and it just lasts a long time. And this is just great for fine motors. It just gets them really building that word so they're familiar with the letters and what letters go in that sight word. This game, roll a sight word. So you've got a dice and a pencil is really all you need. He's just using a pencil. You could stick this in a sheet protector if you wanted it to be dry erase, and then you wouldn't have to print it out so many times. But the idea is they just roll the dice and then they write down that corresponding word into all the boxes. I've included a blank one in the links down below, so you can add in your own words that you want them to work on. Okay, this is rainbow, roll, and spell. So you'll need that dice again, and then you can either do word cards, or we've got just a list of cards over on the side here, and then you'll need the rainbow colors of crayons or colored pencils or markers, and just a piece of paper to write them on. So it's just as it looks. He rolls, he figures out what number corresponds to what color, and then he's just going down the list of writing his words. And like I mentioned in the other one, I'm not focused right now on him doing uppercase and getting in the lines. This is not handwriting right now. This is sight word practice. The link I have in the description, I've updated this so it will look a little different, but it's the same game. This next little, it's like a little packet, word work packet, and it's got, this first one is rainbow writing, where he's again got a list of cards and he's got different colors, and they can go by the actual colors of the rainbow in order, or they can just mix it up and make it colorful, however you want. So just again getting them to practice knowing those letters and that make the word. The next one in that little activity word work pack is highlight the vowels. So he's got just his pencil to write, and then you can use either a yellow crayon or an actual highlighter, and they'll write their word down, and then after that they will highlight or color in the vowels. Okay, this one is secret words. So he's got a white crayon and he's writing the letters down to his sight word, even though we can't see it. And then he's gonna just color over it with a marker. Yeah, just color. I'm glad to see it. And it should reveal a word. I'll put a picture here and you can see it. Okay, we're going to show you how to play a popcorn game. So I have these little popcorns just cut out and we laminated them. And then we happened to find this little bucket somewhere. If you don't have one, you can just put them in a pile face down on the table. So we'll take turns playing. Go ahead. Me? Yeah. Yellow. Yellow, okay. And I have me. Your turn. What's your word? No. No. Anne. get? Oh, you got a pop. You got to put all your popcorn back in.
Oh, my pop going back in. Nope.
So basically you can play this if you want to say like the winner is the first to get 6 cards, or if you just have a certain amount of time that you want to play it with. We did this a lot as kind of like a warm-up in small groups sometimes, so we would just play for a few minutes. So yeah, that's how you play that game. So there you go. I hope that these games help your children learn and have fun with sight words. If you would like more math, reading, or writing and different activities for your kids, please subscribe to my channel, like this video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Thanks for watching and have a blessed day.